Hey guys, welcome back to the DC Action. My name is Chris. Today we're going to be breaking down Season 3, Episode 4 of Stargirl. As always, before getting into the breakdown, make sure you watch this episode as there's going to be some spoilers ahead. This episode opens on Cameron, who is inside his house, and in there he finds a snow globe with a person inside bearing a striking resemblance to Courtney. Now remember this snow globe and how it has Courtney on the inside, because it reflects one of the final scenes in this episode. Once again, we see Cameron's powers starting to develop, however it appears as though he has little control over them for now. His grandparents appear there shortly after to comfort him, but it appears as though they may try to point him towards a more villainous path, following in his father's footsteps. Courtney gets woken up by the cosmic staff, which takes her to the gambler's trailer, where Sylvester was at the end of the last episode, and as such, Courtney finds him there beaten and then takes him to the hospital, where Beth's mother helps them cover up the attack. After a phone call with Rick, we get to see Yolanda's home life briefly, and we learn that her father lost his job and that they have a retailer coming over, both indicating to them struggling financially. Sylvester wakes up and Courtney questions him. However, he does not remember who attacked him. The two of them alter their deal with the staff, so now they are able to take it when they need, provided that the other person is not around during their designated time. Charles McNider, aka Dr. Midnight, the original one, that is, visits Sylvester in the hospital. We get another shot of the mysterious person viewing the monitors where they can see the hospital room that Sylvester is in currently. And if you haven't watched last episode, I explained how I think this mysterious figure may be Mr. Bones from the comics. And to find out why I came to this conclusion, watch last episode's breakdown. Charles realizes that Sylvester is healing fast and believes that the staff imbued him with cosmic energy, which allowed him to come back from the dead as well as heal fast. The JSA go back to the trailer to find more clues, and while there they find an unidentified skin cell, which they believe belongs to the attacker. Cameron's grandparents continue to encourage him to practice using his abilities. They even take away his art supplies, something which has kept him grounded since his father's death. Sylvester has conflicting feelings about whether or not he should continue being Starman. Meanwhile, Beth and Charles analyze the skin sample and find out it's not human. Charles remembered that he encountered a result like this in his past. Back then, it belonging to Dragon King, aka Cindy's father. Mike and Joaquin plan to search the tunnels under Blue Valley for Dragon King. However, they run into some complications when a wish from the Thunderbelt goes a bit sideways. Barbara makes a pitch for a new park in Blue Valley, and her colleague supports her this time, after the threats from Paula last episode. Courtney goes to see Cameron, who says that he will be quitting art class. Courtney attempts to change his mind and support him. However, he loses control and lets out a big burst of ice, knocking Courtney off her feet. He then explains what his powers are and how his grandparents are suggesting he carry on his father's legacy. He is led to believe that his father was a hero and died helping people. However, Courtney knows otherwise. Sylvester decides that he is going to stop being Starman. However, Pat suggests that he should mentor the kids instead. Additionally, he gives Sylvester his suit, which helps him accept Pat's offer. In a later scene, we see Yolanda and Rick find Sylvester while looking for Courtney. They explain how they will be going into the tunnels to look for the Dragon King, and Sylvester decides to accompany them. Courtney helps Cameron come to terms with his powers, telling him to focus on positive emotions instead of negative. This ends up working as he makes it snow but doesn't hurt Courtney this time. The two of them share a kiss. And this scene reflects their snow globe earlier on, as they are kind of in a domey shape with snow falling on top of them. In the tunnels, we see Cindy's skin start to turn into scales, similarly to how her father's did. And this may be why Charles and Beth thought the skin sample belonged to Dragon King. However, in reality, it may be Cindy. And that is the end of this episode. Very interesting. So, one of the main takeaways I feel at the very end is Cindy being the possible villain. And it's kind of gone back and forth, whether it's Cindy, whether it's the Crocs, whether it may be someone else altogether. But at this point in time, I'm leaning more towards Cindy again. Because it just doesn't make sense for Dragon King to be back alive. And the skin sample pointing to Dragon King could also be linked to the Cindy. And as for Sylvester, I think if he ends up mentoring the kids, especially Courtney, that could make for some really interesting content. And then as for Courtney and Cameron, their kiss and possible relationship in the future episodes, I think that's just not going to end well. Their entire friendship is based on lies. Courtney hasn't told him that she's Stargirl, that she knew his father, and that he actually was a villain, not the hero he's made out to be. But anyway, that is the end of this video, so I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more content like this. And be sure to check out my Twitter account to stay up to date on everything DC and more. But until next time, this has been Chris, and I'll be seeing ya.